Some of the most haunting police recordings are the ones that capture an officer's final moments. These are the calls that start like any other, but end in tragedy. From routine traffic stops to late-night standoffs, these are the moments when cops unknowingly record their last breath. Number 1. On New Year's Eve, 2017, Douglas County, Colorado deputies are dispatched to the apartment of Matthew Reel after the 37-year-old veteran places a distressing call to 911 claiming that he got into an altercation with his roommate. As deputies arrive, Deputy Zachary Parrish speaks with the roommate while Ryle argues with another deputy downstairs. Parrish attempts to de-escalate the situation, but after about 20 minutes, deputies are unable to confirm any crime had occurred, so they release Ryle without issue.
I'm coming out. I don't have any guns on me, okay? I want to file a domestic restraining order against my domestic partner.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, why?
Can you help me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, let's do that.
I just feel like you're really upset. I'm not.
Well, I am, because I was assaulted and you didn't help me.
However, about 2 hours later, around 5:20 a.m., Reel calls 911 again asking for deputies to return. Before they arrive, officers are informed that Reel is a veteran suffering from PTSD and may pose a threat to himself and others.
Matt, come out! Matt, come out of the room now!
A team of 3 officers returns to check on him. Deputies decide to place Reel on a mental health hold, but they must first gain access to his apartment, unaware that he's barricaded inside his bedroom with a loaded rifle.
Open the door! Sheriff's office!
When deputies announce sheriff's office, Reel unloads a 30-round magazine in a matter of seconds, striking Deputy Parrish multiple times. His colleagues attempt to rescue him, but are pinned down under heavy fire. Several deputies are hit in the ambush and forced to retreat.
He's down! Hey, I'm going! Cover me! Cover me!
As backup arrives, officers realize that Deputy Zachary Parrish is trapped inside the apartment, fatally wounded. After a tense standoff, police kill Reel. Deputy Zachary Parrish, just 29 years old and a 2-year veteran of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, is pronounced dead at the scene. On May 29, 2025, Chicago police officers were on patrol. It started as a simple investigatory stop, nothing unusual, just routine. But the man they stopped wasn't about to stick around. 19-year-old Nathaniel Fagerang. As soon as officers approached, Fagerang bolted, took off running. The chase began instantly, weaving through streets and alleys as officers shouted for him to stop.
Joel, stop resisting! Stop reaching! Stop fucking reaching! Stop reach! Do not reach! Give me your hands! Stop reaching! Watch my hands. Bro, give me your hands! I got shot in my head, bro. Give me your hands!
The pursuit didn't last long. Officers closed the distance and tried to bring him down. Commands rang out. Stop! Get on the ground. But Fagerang kept fighting. A struggle erupted as they wrestled to get control.
I got light! Stop reaching! Stop reaching! Hey, man. Stop!
Then it happened. A single shot cracked through the scuffle. An officer went down clutching his leg. He had been hit. In the chaos, another officer drew and fired, striking Fagerang. The entire scene shifted from a foot chase to a life-or-death fight in seconds.
I'm trying to Andrew, stop! Shots fired! Shots fired! Granted, calm.
Backup swarmed in. The wounded officer was pulled out of the struggle. Despite the pain, he was still alert, still conscious, giving quick updates as fellow officers moved to secure the scene. Paramedics rushed in to stabilize him on the spot.
256-380, got one offender down, got one weapon recovered. Oh my God! A timestamp for the tourniquet squad.
Meanwhile, Fagerang lay on the ground. Officers recovered a gun near him. Proof of just how quickly things had spiraled from a simple stop to an armed confrontation.
Hey, I shot him right here, bro. I shot him in the neck and in the head, bro. He had a gun shot him.
My radio's not working!
The officer who was shot was transported to the hospital, treated, and released later that day. Fagerang, however, was pronounced dead after being taken from the scene. It all unfolded in a matter of moments. a 19-year-old running from police, a foot chase, a sudden burst of violence, and a split-second decision that changed everything. On Wednesday evening, Deputy Cody Colangelo responded to a call regarding a rollover traffic crash in St. Lucie County. Upon arrival, Deputy Colangelo observed a single vehicle overturned with no occupants inside. Witnesses on scene informed the deputy that the driver, later identified as Leah Michelle Day, had exited the crashed vehicle and fled down an embankment on foot.
1023. Hello. What's going on? Man, stop real quick.
Deputy Colangelo proceeded to the area indicated by witnesses and located the suspect. Body camera footage shows a brief verbal exchange between Deputy Colangelo and Day. During this time, the suspect appeared emotional and erratic in her behavior.
All right. Were you just in a crash? Ma'am, come up here. Don't walk away. No walking. Come over here. Okay? Walk upstairs, all right? Let's get out this water area.
I don't wanna. I'm scared.
Without warning, the suspect turned and stabbed Deputy Colangelo in the neck with a knife. The wound narrowly missed the deputy's carotid artery.
Walk.
Despite being injured, Deputy Colangelo was able to retreat to safety and apply pressure to his neck wound until additional units and emergency medical personnel arrived on scene. The suspect, Leah Michelle Day, was immediately taken into custody without further incident. These stories remind us how quickly life can change in the line of duty. What do you think about the risks officers face every day? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to share this video with others who should hear these stories. It's just after 2 a.m., February 11, 2022. Phoenix police get a frantic call from a man named Morris Richard Jones. He claims armed intruders broke into his home and shot his wife. Officers race to the scene, thinking they're walking into a home invasion. But what's waiting for them is something far worse.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Without warning, Richard opens fire. The officer at the front door takes the worst of it. Multiple rounds to the chest. Somehow he manages to crawl to safety. Others are hit too, forcing the team to fall back and call for backup. It's chaos. The perimeter is locked down, and the house is sealed off. Inside, Richard has barricaded himself in, along with his wife. Only later do officers realize he was the one who shot her.
Come on.
Who's all in the house?
Huh?
Who's all in the house?
It's me.
Who's you? I've been shot. 999.
Hours into the standoff, there's a sudden shift. Richard's brother steps out of the house, arms raised, holding the couple's infant. He places the baby gently on the front porch and surrenders. It looks like the nightmare might finally be ending. Officers rush in to grab the child, but before they can even breathe, Richard fires again. Ambush number 2, and this time, he's aiming to do more damage.
Come with me. Baby. Door. I got the baby.
Gunfire erupts again. In the scramble to rescue the baby, several officers are shot. Others are hit by shrapnel, caught in the blast zone of Richard's second ambush. What was supposed to be a moment of relief turns into another wave of chaos.
I need it. Here, come here, baby. Come here, baby. Go.
Eventually, SWAT officers arrived with advanced equipment to try and save the baby. Shortly after, SWAT officers breached the home and found the suspect dead on the floor from what was later determined to be self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They also discovered the body of his wife, 29-year-old Shatifa Lobley, whom he had shot. In total, 9 officers were injured during the encounter, with the first responding officer suffering the most severe wounds. However, all the officers survived. May 11, 2021. Police in Stockton, California, received a desperate 911 call about a violent domestic disturbance. The caller reported loud screams and windows shaking from inside a home. Responding to the call was Officer Jimmy Inn, a 30-year-old father of 3 who had served with the Stockton Police Department for 4 years. At 10:07 a.m., Inn pulled up in front of the house, unaware of the deadly danger waiting behind the door. As he approached the entryway, he knocked, announcing himself as police. The door opened just slightly, but before he could react, gunfire erupted. Jimmy Inn was shot multiple times in a matter of seconds.
Please.
Hey, police.
Hello.
His partner, Officer Pancho Freer, arrived moments later and was met with the shocking sight of Inn on the ground. Freer immediately returned fire, shouting into his radio for urgent backup. His voice broke as he tried to keep his partner alive, pleading for Jimmy to hold on while still keeping his weapon trained on the house.
"58 shots fired, shots fired. Partner's down. Jimmy, you all right? 58 shots fired, my partner is down. Code 3 now."
Then the situation grew even more horrifying. The suspect, identified as 30-year-old Lance Lowe, emerged from the doorway holding his 8-year-old son. Using the terrified boy as a human shield, he stepped onto the front lawn. Officers shouted for him to put the child down, trying desperately to de-escalate, but Lowe ignored every command.
58, I need units code 3. He's strangling the kid and my partner is down. Let the kid go! Let him go! Let him go! Let go of the kid!
The standoff reached its breaking point when a neighbor, witnessing the horror unfold, made a split-second decision. Risking his own life, the man sprinted across the lawn, tackled Lowe from behind, and ripped the boy free from his arms. The child stumbled into the arms of officers, crying but unharmed. With the boy safe, police opened fire. Lowe was fatally shot on the lawn, ending the immediate danger but leaving irreversible devastation in his wake.
Hey, firm, we're on the corner.
Despite every effort, Officer Jimmy Inn succumbed to his wounds. He died at the scene, never making it back to his wife, who was also a police officer, and their 3 children. His youngest was just a baby who would grow up never knowing the father who gave his life protecting others.
Stockton PD says that Officer End and the suspect both taken to the hospital where they both later died from their injuries. Tonight we have learned that Officer N leaves behind a wife and 3 children, including a 7-month-old son. His wife, also a Stockton police officer.
The community of Stockton was shattered. A memorial outside the department grew with flowers, flags, and handwritten notes, while fellow officers stood in silent salute. At his funeral, Jimmy Inn was remembered as a dedicated officer, a loving husband, and a doting father whose courage cost him everything. For the little boy caught in the middle, the trauma of watching his father die that day is something he will carry forever. And for Officer Inn's family, the tragedy is a reminder of the unimaginable risks that come with answering a single call for help. Wearing a badge means walking into danger at any moment, often with no warning. For most of us, a tough day at work means stress or frustration. But for police officers, it can mean the difference between life and death. On March 2, 2022, in Billings, Montana, a passerby frantically called 911 after spotting a woman in a moving vehicle screaming for help. She cried out that she was being held against her will by a man armed with a knife. The caller described the car and direction of travel, and within minutes, police began a high-speed pursuit.
Going back eastbound on Mike Passive Pacheco. Swerving in and out of traffic. 254, you go ahead, I got comms. Let's just make sure that the third officer goes and gets 49, please. Meanwhile, you guys stay on it, please. Santa Fe, notify the SO and SP, please.
Officers believed they were racing against time to save a hostage. The vehicle weaved recklessly through traffic, swerving into oncoming lanes and forcing other drivers off the road. Despite the extreme danger, officers pressed forward, convinced that a victim's life was at stake.
Over I-25, chain over I-25, and just be flipping around now, and we're going to be oncoming traffic. You're going to be on to oncoming traffic going over I-25. Now he's headed onto I-25, wrong direction, and he's going to be headed onto the French Road.
The pursuit ended in tragedy. As police tried to intercept the suspect's car near Santa Fe, Officer Robert Duran's patrol vehicle collided head-on with another car. The crash was devastating. Both Officer Duran and the innocent driver of the other vehicle were killed instantly. At the scene, the supposed victim stepped out of her car. She told officers her captor had fled on foot, identifying him as her boyfriend and insisting he was armed with a gun. A manhunt was immediately launched, with tactical teams sweeping the area. But something didn't add up. Despite her claims, no suspect was ever found.
Get in the car, get in the car. Let me see, I need to check you. I need to check you for weapons.
Okay.
Where's he at? Who is it?
His name is Mark, he's my boyfriend.
Does he have any weapons?
Yes, he does.
What does he have?
He has a gun.
Where's he at?
He went running.
He ran?
Yes, he did.
Investigators quickly uncovered the shocking truth. There had never been a kidnapping. The woman, 49-year-old Janine Harmo, had fabricated the entire story. The vehicle was stolen, and she had a history of making nearly identical false claims in past encounters with police, often leading to reckless chases. Prosecutors later revealed this was not a desperate escape, but a deliberate deception, one that had now cost 2 innocent lives.
Pass out. Some water, brother?
Brother.
In July 2024, after a lengthy trial, a Santa Fe County jury convicted Harmo of 2 counts of first-degree murder. The district attorney argued that her lies weaponized police officers' duty to protect, manipulating them into a deadly pursuit. The court agreed, handing down 2 life sentences plus an additional 43 years for related charges.
Find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree as charged in count 2.
I'd like to say I'm sorry to the family with all my heart. If I could take back that day, I would. I made bad choices. I was on drugs and I was drinking, but I also have my family that I'm hurting. Putting me away many years is not going to bring them back. But I would never, ever plan on hurting anybody. Much less killing anybody. God knows what's in my heart.
For the Santa Fe Police Department, the loss of Officer Robert Duran was almost unthinkable. He became the first officer killed in the line of duty in over 90 years. The other victim, an ordinary driver on his way home, was remembered by family as a kind and hard-working man whose life was stolen in an instant. At sentencing, the district attorney called the verdict the end of a 2.5-year nightmare. But for the families of the victims, No amount of justice could undo the devastation caused by a lie that spiraled into tragedy. On April 5th, 2019, Henry County Police got one of those calls that every cop dreads. A man had shot his pregnant wife and teenage son. Multiple officers rushed to the scene, knowing they were dealing with someone who'd already proven he was willing to kill his own family. When they arrived at the house, they could hear chaos inside. The suspect, 47-year-old Anthony Bailey, had barricaded himself after shooting two of the people closest to him. The officers knew they had to act fast. There might be other victims inside who needed help, and Bailey was clearly unstable enough to keep shooting.
232 radio. Blood in the driveway, females visible inside, unresponsive. We're about to force entry.
The decision was made to breach the front door and go in after him. It seemed like the right call at the time. They had to stop Bailey before he hurt anyone else, and waiting around outside might give him time to finish off his wounded family members. So the officers kicked down the door and rushed inside, ready to face whatever was waiting for them.
You ready, Foster?
What they found was exactly what Bailey had been hoping for, a perfect ambush. He'd positioned himself where he could see the front entrance and had been waiting for police to come through that door. The moment the officers stepped inside, Bailey opened fire. Two officers went down immediately. One took a bullet to the hand, while another got shot in the hip. Both were wounded badly enough that they couldn't continue the fight, leaving their fellow officers to deal with Bailey while trying to get the injured men to safety. The whole plan had gone sideways in seconds. Bailey wasn't interested in negotiating or giving up. After shooting the officers, he locked himself deeper inside the house and made it clear he wasn't coming out alive. The wounded officers were rushed to the hospital while their colleagues set up a perimeter around the house.
Oh shit! Watch out! Ah! Shit! Shot fired here, right here, shot fired.
What followed was a 15-hour standoff that tested everyone's patience. Negotiators tried everything they could think of to get Bailey to surrender peacefully. They talked about his family, tried to reason with him, offered him medical help. Nothing worked. Bailey had made up his mind that this was how his story was going to end. The officers who got shot were lucky to be alive. Both survived their injuries and eventually made full recoveries, though they had to deal with months of physical therapy and the psychological trauma of being ambushed while trying to help Bailey's victims.
Shots fired, shots fired.
After 15 hours of trying to talk Bailey down, the standoff ended the way everyone expected it would. Bailey turned his gun on himself rather than face arrest for what he'd done to his family and the officers who'd tried to stop him. The whole situation was a reminder of how domestic violence calls can turn deadly in an instant, and how suspects who've already crossed the line into violence against their own families won't hesitate to target police officers too. On May 11, 2023, at around 2 a.m., dispatchers in Bourget, Ontario, received a frantic call from a woman. She reported loud music, screaming, and what she thought was a gunshot coming from her neighbor's home. The neighbor was 39-year-old Alan, a drywall contractor with no criminal record, no history of violence, and a licensed gun owner. Police had never been called to his home before, and he was not considered a threat. At that moment, it was treated as a routine wellness check.
Hey, je vais que tu rentres ici, y a-tu des enfants ou quelque chose?
Non.
Tout seul?
Seul. Fait que l'affaire que j'ai vue tantôt, puis la lumière était pas allumée.
3 Ontario provincial police officers, Sergeant Eric Miller, Constable Mark Lawson, and Constable Francois Gamache, arrived at the quiet neighborhood just before dawn. They parked outside, moving cautiously with flashlights. At first, the home seemed still, the back door locked, no sounds from within. They circled the property, checking for signs of distress. To them, it looked like a standard call that would likely end with calming down a dispute.
I just covered the front door. Just gonna do a perimeter check first.
But inside, Alan had been asleep. He was startled awake by noises around his house and, in confusion, thought someone was trying to break in. Without announcing himself, he grabbed a semi-automatic rifle he kept by his bed. Moments later, as the officers regrouped near the front door, Alan raised the weapon and unleashed 9 shots through his bedroom wall. The gunfire tore into the officers before they even had time to react. Sergeant Muller was struck multiple times and dropped instantly in the mudroom, his weapon still holstered. Constable Lawson was hit, but his ballistic vest stopped the bullet. Constable Gamache, caught in the open, scrambled for cover but was also struck by a round. The gunfight was over in seconds, leaving the officers wounded and Muller gravely injured on the floor.
Motherfucker, man. C'est ça, j'en dis. Fuck with the wrong motherfucker. Should have never broken my house. Sorry about that.
Realizing he had shot police, Alan called 911 in a panicked voice, insisting intruders had broken into his home. But prosecutors would later argue that his actions went far beyond confusion, calling it a deliberate and deadly ambush. Paramedics rushed the officers to hospital. Constable Gamache survived his injuries, and Constable Lawson was treated for bruising from the impact to his vest. Tragically, Sergeant Eric Muller did not make it. His death devastated his family, colleagues, and the entire Ontario provincial police community. Alan was arrested at the scene and charged with first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. His trial gripped Canada, raising questions about gun ownership, mental health, and police safety. On May 24, 2025, the jury delivered its verdict, guilty on all charges. Alan was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. For the officers who survived, that night remains seared into memory. The eerie silence before the gunfire, the chaos of trying to save Muller, and the crushing realization that their sergeant would never go home again. Sergeant Eric Muller's final act was simply doing what he had done for decades, answering a call for help. These stories remind us how quickly life can change in the line of duty. What do you think about the risks officers face every day? Share your thoughts in the comments. Officer Angelina White had only been wearing the badge for 6 months when November 6, 2017 changed everything. The young Portsmouth, Virginia officer was doing a routine patrol when she spotted 15-year-old William Patterson Jr., a known runaway with gang connections. What started as a simple interaction turned deadly when Patterson pulled a gun and fired 5 shots at the rookie officer.
You gotta stand up.
What'd I do?
Come on, turn around.
What?
Look. Turn around. Ow! Officer shot! Officer shot! Officer shot!
The bullets tore through Officer White's arms and legs, with one striking her femoral artery. Blood poured onto the pavement as she collapsed, fighting to stay conscious. Patterson fled the scene, leaving the wounded officer bleeding to death on a residential street corner. In those critical moments, every second mattered as her life literally drained away.
Where's your radio?
Help me!
Where's your radio?
Where are we? Officer shot! Help!
Hey, you got an officer down 2500 block of Hickory Street. Female officer down 2500 block of Hickory Street.
That's when an unnamed Good Samaritan became the difference between life and death. This hero saw what happened and ran toward the gunshots instead of away from them. Without any medical training or law enforcement experience, this brave civilian made split-second decisions that would save a police officer's life.
Oh, stay still, stay down. Stay down. get here first. I don't know where he took off.
Where are you shot? Stay with me. Stay with me. Where are you shot?
Arms and leg.
I got you, baby. I got you.
The Good Samaritan quickly grabbed Officer White's radio and called for backup, staying calm under pressure despite the chaotic scene. But more importantly, they stayed with the wounded officer, applying pressure to her wounds and talking to her to keep her awake. They understood instinctively that keeping someone conscious and trying to control bleeding could mean the difference between survival and death.
Give me a bolo. Get a bolo out. All right, where else are you shot?
Arm in the arm. She said the arm. Shut the arm. Sweetheart, come here.
Where at?
Look at me. Look at me. Hold my hand.
What's the description? Give me the description.
William Patterson.
William Patterson. Put that out. Put that out.
This civilian hero didn't just make one phone call and leave. They remained by Officer White's side, providing comfort and potentially life-saving first aid until paramedics and fellow officers arrived. Their quick thinking and willingness to get involved directly contributed to Officer White surviving that terrible day. Fellow officers arrived and continued the life-saving efforts, applying tourniquets and rushing Officer White to the hospital. She survived, but her law enforcement career ended due to her injuries. Patterson was caught and sentenced to 88 years in prison. The unnamed Good Samaritan proved that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when someone's life is on the line. Kayla, a small town in Luna County, El Paso, Texas. What seemed like just another quiet day turned into a living nightmare. Police traffic officers were doing what they do best, routine vehicle checks. It was a typical scene. Drivers pulled over, documents checked, and everything moving along as it should. Little did they know, today was going to be anything but typical.
Gonna be on I-10, eastbound at about the 101. Oh, temp tag 0527 Edward Paul. It's gonna be a white Chevy pickup, one aboard. Can't tell what state the temp tag's out of.
Officer Jarrett, with his usual calm demeanor, approached a white pickup truck that had just been flagged down for a standard check. He smiled, his hand outstretched, ready to greet the driver.
Afternoon, sir. My name is Darren Jarrett. I'm with New Mexico State Police. The reason for the stop is your window tint's a little too dark. Yeah. You mind if I open the door? Or if you want to roll down the window more.
Dark?
Yeah. I noticed you got temp tags. You got a registration for the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
I'll need registration and your driver's license as well.
But in the blink of an eye, everything changed. The driver, later identified as Cueva, reached under his seat and pulled out a gun. In an instant, Officer Jarrett realized the danger, but it was already too late. Without warning, Cueva aimed the gun directly at him and fired. The shot rang out, and Officer Jarrett collapsed to the ground instantly, his life taken by a single bullet.
Got paperwork I gotta do. Nope. Hey, real quick. You have a firearm? Yeah. Oh no, I see it. Waist. Do me a favor. Do you mind if I take it off you for my safety? Alright, hold on. Alright, let's go to my vehicle, okay? Come on.
Oh, shit!
The officers surrounding the area were left in shock. No one saw it coming. A routine check, the kind that happens every day, had just turned into an ambush. Officer Jarrett was down, and the others froze for a moment, unsure of what to do. Then, without a second thought, Cueva slammed his foot on the gas and sped off. The truck careened down the interstate, heading east toward Las Cruces. The police officers didn't hesitate for a second. They abandoned their traffic duties, hopped into their patrol vehicles, and gave chase. They couldn't let him get away. Not after what he had just done.
Yes, sir. What do you want us to fight you?
Did he shoot at him?
Yeah, officer's down, bro. You want to go check with the officer?
Let's stop this guy, man. We gotta stop him.
Okay.
Let's just shoot. Let's shoot at him. Let's shoot through his windshield.
What's up, bro?
We gotta shoot through his windshield. Spiking's not gonna do nothing, bro.
The chase was on. Cueva pushed the truck to its limits, racing through the streets at dangerous speeds. He wasn't going to stop. He wasn't even trying to outrun the cops. He was trying to escape, no matter the cost.
Yeah, updated 49.
I have issues. Gonna be traveling on the slow lane. We're approaching mile marker 115 right now. 116th and 4th, he's slowing down.
Been approaching the 115, 116 in the slow lane.
15 miles into the pursuit, the police were gaining ground. But then, something unexpected happened. Cueva pulled over, not to surrender, but to continue the fight. He jumped out of the truck, pulled out a rifle, and aimed it straight at the officers. A terrifying standoff began. The sound of gunfire filled the air as Cueva opened fire, sending a barrage of bullets toward the police. The officers, caught off guard, had no choice but to return fire. It was chaos. Gunshots, speeding vehicles, and officers ducking for cover. It was everything but a routine traffic stop. Cueva wasn't done. Realizing that he was outgunned, he quickly jumped back into his truck and took off again, speeding down the road. The police were relentless. They couldn't stop now, not after what had just happened. The chase was still on. By now, multiple law enforcement agencies had joined the pursuit. U.S. Border Patrol, sheriff's departments, and city police all joined the chase, determined to bring Cueva to justice. No one was backing down. As the chase neared Las Cruces, the police had to act fast. They deployed spike strips to disable the truck's tires, but Cueva didn't slow down. He drove on, even with one of the tires shredded. He was willing to do anything to escape the law.
430, I'm 10-4. He shot at my unit.
Copy. Shots fired at your unit. 4. People unit vital times from 446 and 430.
Got a spike, got a spike.
In a final attempt to end the pursuit, a Las Cruces officer used a pursuit intervention technique, ramming the truck off the road. The truck finally came to a halt, and the officers knew this was their last chance to stop him.
Black handgun.
So 49, he's slumped over. Might be shot. He's slumped over. We're getting closer to Avenida Mesilla exit. Still eastbound.
Yeah, spike shifted up in the air.
I can't see him anymore.
Block traffic right here on Avenida Mesilla, please. Get the cycles out.
He's still slumped over towards the right. We're coming to Avenida Mesilla.
System 1, you got 935 blocking Conway to University. Sure.
Cueva jumped out of the truck, gun in hand, ready to fight. He pointed his weapon at the officers. The next sound everyone heard was the unmistakable crack of gunfire. Officers scrambled for cover, taking quick, calculated positions. The tension was palpable. Everyone knew this was the final showdown. Shots rang out in quick succession. Cueva was fighting for his life, but the officers weren't backing down. They returned fire with precision. It was a standoff like no other. And then, just as quickly as it started, everything went quiet. Cueva stopped shooting. His body went still. He had been hit, and it was over. The threat had been neutralized. He was dead at the scene.
Got it?
During the firefight, one Las Cruces officer was injured, but fortunately, the officer was quickly taken to the hospital and treated. Officer Jarriott, however, was not so lucky. He lost his life that day, leaving behind 3 young children, with another on the way. Officer Jarriott had given everything, including his life, to protect his community. The Minneapolis ambush. On May 30th, 2024, in the city of Minneapolis, a call for help turned into one of the most shocking and heartbreaking incidents in recent police history.
Squad 512, look, we have at least 2 victims outside at the location, bleeding.
That afternoon, officers received a 911 report about an injured man who appeared to be bleeding and in distress. Responding to the call was Officer Jamal Mitchell, a dedicated and well-respected officer known for his calmness and compassion in the field.
512 copy.
Hey, are we on? Hey! Who shot you? Who shot you? Are there victims inside?
When Officer Mitchell arrived at the scene, everything appeared routine at first glance. A man was lying on the ground, seemingly hurt and in need of medical attention. What seemed like an act of kindness and service quickly turned into a deadly trap. The injured man was later identified as Mustafa Muhammad, who was not a victim at all, but a suspect waiting to ambush the responding officer. Without warning, gunfire erupted. The sound of shots echoed through the neighborhood as Officer Mitchell was struck multiple times at close range. Though critically injured, he tried to seek cover, but the relentless attack continued until his body could no longer move. Within minutes, the scene became a battleground as backup officers arrived to confront the gunman.
Stop.
Suspect is a black male wearing a hoodie. And we're getting shot at here. 20 seconds in place. Actively shooting.
Where?
Copy. Actively shooting 22nd Blaisdell.
Where? Where's the guy shooting?
That guy, come here. Get on the ground. Yeah, go.
A fierce exchange followed between law enforcement and Muhammad, who continued to fire until he was ultimately neutralized. The gunfight ended with Muhammad dead on the scene, but the loss had already been felt across the city. Officer Jamal Mitchell, a man known for running toward danger to protect others, had given his life in service.
Hey, I got you!
Stay around 22nd and 21st. You're shooting somewhere between the blocks. Copy. Stay away from 22nd and 21st and Blaisdell. He's shooting from that block.
Get up, get up, get up, get up! We need handcuffs on him!
Yes, I'm in house here down.
Anyone else?
We don't know. We don't know.
The guy with the gun.
Hey, get down! Get down!
He's right here. He's right here.
Let's go! This is the only shooter we got so far! It's the only shooter we got!
The city of Minneapolis mourned deeply. Tributes poured in from across the nation, honoring an officer who had walked into danger believing he was there to help someone in need. His death became a chilling reminder of the unpredictable dangers officers face, even in moments that seem routine.
Yeah, it is. He was there shooting right there.
If there's any other officers, we do have another victim in a red.
Every officer coming to the scene, come from the south, don't come north.
Hey, I'm going up. We're going up.
In the aftermath, fellow officers described the tragedy as a heartbreaking example of bravery met with betrayal. Officer Mitchell's final act was one of service and courage, a reflection of his commitment to protecting others no matter the risk. His name joined the list of heroes who paid the ultimate price in the line of duty, and his story continues to echo through the halls of the Minneapolis Police Department as a legacy of sacrifice and honor. On July 30th, 2020, Chicago police officers closed in on a stolen Porsche near the city's west side. Behind the wheel was 27-year-old Lavelle Jordan, a convicted felon, out on parole, known to the system, known to officers.
Lift me up. I can't. I got skin grabs. Lift me up. Wait. Stop, folks.
Get on your knee.
I'm not putting up to the front.
But this afternoon, he wasn't just a car thief. He was about to become the center of one of the most dangerous shootouts inside a police station in the city's history.
I can't put cuffs in the front. You'll be fine.
Get on your knee!
I can't get on my knees.
Get on your knee.
I got 30 reverse all of my legs and knees.
Okay.
The vehicle stop was tense from the beginning. Officers dragged Jordan out of the Porsche, pulled him to the ground, and cuffed his hands behind his back. They searched him quickly for weapons. He insisted he didn't have any. He even complained about burns on his hands, asking for the cuffs to be moved to the front. Officers refused, telling him they would sort that out once they reached the station.
Stay on your side.
Hold on, wait, come on.
All right. It's over, okay? Don't play fucking games.
You can slow it down. We got it.
Put me in the
We
car.
got it. We got it.
Take the cuffs off, put it in the front, please.
I'm not putting cuffs in the front.
You got to, sir. I have medical. Look in the car. How much else you
I'm
look?
not putting the
Look
cuffs
at
in
my
the
hand.
front.
Look at my hand, sir. Look at my hand.
We saw your hand.
Stay
We
put.
got it.
Jordan was placed in the back of a squad SUV, hands behind his back, but he wasn't unarmed. Somehow, he had managed to keep a small handgun hidden in his clothes. And as the minutes passed, with the patrol vehicle rolling toward the 25th District Station, he began to maneuver.
Just watch him.
Just watch him. Put the cuffs in the front.
Nope.
I promise you.
We're not putting cuffs in the front.
I'm gonna get you in the station. I'm gonna take them off. Look at my hand. This shit hurt. I got 30 reverse everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna get you in the station and we'll take them off. Please.
By the time they pulled into the Sally Port at 5555 West Grand Avenue, his hands were no longer behind him. They were in front, and the gun was ready. When the rear door opened, Jordan struck first. A shot rang out, hitting an officer in the chin. Chaos erupted in the confined space of the station entrance. Officers scrambled for cover as Jordan opened fire from the back seat. He kept firing, hitting another officer in the shoulder and neck, and wounding a third in the hip. One officer took a round to his vest, but was spared serious injury.
The police! Get station! 10-1! Backless station! Shot fired! Police! 10-1! Officer down! Roll an ambulance!
The squad port echoed with gunfire as officers returned fire. 4 of them drew down on Jordan, unleashing round after round. More than 50 shots tore through the space in seconds. Jordan tried to shield himself, ducking behind the car door, but the officers pressed forward, determined to stop the attack. For several minutes, it was a deadly standoff at point-blank range. Officers outside the SUV fired into the back seat. Jordan fired back, his weapon still in hand. At one point, an officer who had been shot rose to his feet and returned fire despite his injuries.
Suspect down! Suspect down!
The gun battle didn't let up until Jordan finally went down, struck multiple times, and unable to move.
We still have shots fired over there. You guys will caution in the Sally Port.
He still got the gun. Get...
Clear.
Gun is clear. Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's Cordy at?
In just a few moments, the 25th District Station had become a war zone, with officers and their suspect exchanging fire in one of the most violent clashes inside a Chicago police facility in recent memory.
During the deadly gunfight, Brennan is hit once in the stomach. Deputy Kyle Dinkheller a husband and father, is struck 9 times and dies.
On January 12, 1998, Lawrence County Sheriff's Deputy Kyle Dinkeller pulled over 49-year-old Andrew Brannon, an ex-U.S. Army Vietnam veteran, for speeding on the interstate.
Driver, step back here to me. Come on back here for me.
Almost immediately, the traffic stop began to spiral out of control. The deputy asked Brannon to step out of his car and keep his hands out of his pockets, but Brannon quickly became aggressive. He yelled, cursed, and repeatedly refused to comply with simple commands. The situation escalated further when Brannon shoved Deputy Dinkeller in the chest and walked back to his vehicle, ignoring repeated orders to stop.
Sir, get back.
What are you calling?
Sir, get back. Now, get back. Get back. Sir, get back now.
No!
Get back.
Fuck you!
Sir, get back.
No!
I'm telling you now. Get back, sir. Sir, get back. Sir,
I am a goddamn Vietnam combat veteran,
Step back.
and I am not.
Sir,
Fuck you!
Sir, step back now. Get back. Get back. Get back now. 1078, radio 1018. Sir, step back now.
Despite Brannon's increasingly threatening behavior, Deputy Dinkeller chose restraint and did not use force. That decision would prove fatal. Brannon retrieved a rifle from his car, pointed it at the deputy, and opened fire.
Drop the gun now!
Armed only with his service pistol, Deputy Dinkeller had little chance against a trained Vietnam veteran with combat experience. He tried to return fire, but Brannon shot him multiple times before delivering the final fatal headshot.
Shit! Stop now!
By the time backup arrived, Deputy Dinkeller was already dead. His fellow officers, recognizing their fallen colleague as they rushed to the scene, were left in shock and devastation.
God! No, Kyle! No! Kyle! Kyle, no! 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 No!
They want to talk to you.
No! God damn it! Get him up here, 1018! You bet he's down, he's bad! Get him up here! Get him up here! No, Kyle, no! No!
A massive manhunt was launched, and Brannon was captured the following day after a brief gunfight. He was charged with the malice murder of a peace officer. At trial, his defense argued insanity caused by PTSD from the Vietnam War, but the jury rejected the claim. Brannon was sentenced to death and, after years of appeals, was executed by lethal injection on January 13, 2015, 17 years after the murder. On September 20th, 2021, Houston police officers rolled out before sunrise. The mission was clear: serve a high-risk arrest warrant. The target, 31-year-old Dion Ledette, a repeat offender with an extensive criminal history.
Ma'am? Where's Dion? Is he awake? Dion, step out here. Is he awake?
Ma'am.
Ma'am. Yeah, step out here. Okay. Dion, step on out here. You got to take care of some warrants.
The officers assigned were from the Major Offenders Division, experienced, tactical. They knew the risks, but this was their job. By 7:30 a.m., they were in position outside Ledette's residence.
Dion, it's Houston Police. You need to step out here.
Officer William Bill Jeffrey led the approach. At 54 years old, He was a veteran with more than 30 years on the force. At his side was Sergeant Michael Vance, standing just a few steps back for support.
You got eyes on him?
No, I do not.
Is Dion inside?
You need to step out and use some
Is Dion inside? Is he upstairs?
He's right here.
Right here? Supposed to be right here.
Supposed to be right here. Dion!
Body camera footage shows Officer Jeffrey knocking on the front door. A woman answered, calm, composed. Jeffrey explained they had a warrant for lead A and asked if he was inside. The woman was escorted out. For a brief moment, everything looked routine.
Are these your stairs right here? Is he up on
Dion,
stairs?
it's Houston Police. You need to step out here.
Hold on.
Come on.
Are there guns in there?
But then the door cracked open again, and chaos erupted.
Dion, it's Houston Police. Let's do this thing.
Hold on. Give me cover. Give me cover.
Lead A was waiting with a gun. He opened fire at point-blank range. The sound of rapid gunshots filled the entryway. Officer Jeffrey, standing directly in front of the doorway, was hit immediately. The impact dropped him where he stood.
Dion, it's Houston Police. Let's do this thing.
Sergeant Vance, positioned just behind him, was struck too. He fell to the ground, wounded, and crawled away from the line of fire. His voice could be heard on the footage, strained but clear, calling out that he had been hit.
Dion, it's Houston Police. Let's do this thing.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck me. Good. No, I'm hit.
Officers scrambled for cover as bullets ripped through the entryway. They returned fire in controlled bursts, pushing back against Leday's barrage. The air filled with shouting, gunfire, and the desperate calls of officers trying to take control of a deadly situation. Through the chaos, the body cameras recorded it all. Jeffrey lying motionless near the doorway. Vance fighting to stay conscious as fellow officers rushed to pull him out of harm's way.
I'm clear. Let me get loaded and fuel. Okay, so my track vehicle, let me check my tracking a 2016 GMC, brown color. That's at a convenience store. Callers waiting in the red Jeep.
All right.
That's good.
Leday kept shooting until he was fatally struck in the exchange. Officers pressed forward, weapons raised, securing the residence and neutralizing the threat. In just a few seconds, what began as a warrant service had exploded into a violent firefight, and the cameras captured the exact moment when everything changed. Sometimes being a good person gets you killed. That's exactly what happened to New Mexico State Trooper Justin Hare on March 15, 2024. The 33-year-old officer thought he was just helping out a stranded motorist on a lonely stretch of highway in Key County. Instead, he walked straight into his own murder.
Taking grab 97.
Hey, bud.
Got a flat tire, you can help me?
What are you needing?
Just a tire. I need a ride to the store, you get me there.
Hare got the call in the early morning hours about someone needing assistance with a flat tire. It seemed routine enough. Cops help stranded drivers all the time. Hare pulled up to find 33-year-old Jeremy Smith standing next to a broken-down vehicle, looking like he needed help getting back to town.
Okay, I can get you back to town real quick, but nobody's open tonight.
Well, that's fine, I'll get time.
I just haven't come back to get the car. Okay. Go ahead and go to the front of my car real quick. I'll meet you up there real quick.
Hare was nothing but professional and kind. He told Smith that most places would be closed at that hour, but he'd be happy to give him a ride into town anyway. Smith seemed grateful and cooperative as Hare directed him to walk to the front of the patrol car. Hare was probably thinking about how this would be a quick, easy call before getting back to his regular patrol duties. He had no idea he was dealing with a cold-blooded killer who was already planning his next move.
I'll get you.
Without any warning whatsoever, Smith pulled out a 9mm pistol and shot Hare point blank in the head. The trooper died instantly, never knowing what hit him. 1 second he was being a good Samaritan. The next he was dead because he tried to help the wrong person. But Smith wasn't done with his crime spree. After murdering the officer who was trying to help him, Smith stole the patrol car with Hare's body still inside. He drove north for about 5 minutes before dumping Hare's corpse on the side of the road like garbage. Then he kept driving the stolen police vehicle until he eventually crashed it and fled on foot. The whole thing was captured on Hare's body camera, showing just how quickly a routine call can turn deadly. Hare never had a chance to defend himself because he was focused on helping someone in need, not expecting to be ambushed by a killer.
Hare. Brother. Hey, brother. Hare. 961 Norcom, I need a 55 now. 961 Norcom. 961 Norcom, I need a 55 now. Hare, hey, brother, hey, fuck.
Investigation later revealed that Smith had been on a multi-state crime spree. He'd stolen a BMW from a nurse just days before killing Hare and already had warrants out for his arrest. That explains why he was so quick to kill an officer. He knew he was going back to prison if he got caught, so he decided murder was his best option. Police caught Smith a few days later and charged him with everything they could think of. Carjacking resulting in death, kidnapping resulting in death, possession of a stolen firearm, and interstate transport of a stolen vehicle. Federal prosecutors are seeking either life in prison or the death penalty, because federal law doesn't allow parole for these kinds of crimes. Hare's death hit the law enforcement community especially hard because it showed how even the most innocent interactions can turn deadly. He wasn't making an arrest or chasing a suspect. He was literally just trying to help someone get home safely. His kindness and willingness to go above and beyond for a stranger cost him his life. The fentanyl collapse. It was October 24, 2023, a late afternoon in Sacramento, California, when Sacramento County Sheriff's Deputy Marvin Morales stopped a familiar face at a Shell gas station on Stockton Boulevard near 65th Street. The man was well known to local deputies, a chronic user, often erratic, sometimes homeless, and clearly under the influence again. What began as a routine street contact would soon expose a deadly breach within the thin blue line itself.
Tippy, is it? I think it is. I'm not sure. Yeah? Not for now. So you could either hand it over or I could put you in custody.
Morales engaged the man in casual but firm conversation, quickly noticing a shiny foil packet protruding from his pocket. The suspect openly admitted it contained crystal methamphetamine. He also surrendered a glass pipe used for smoking. Morales issued a citation for possession, collected the foil and pipe as evidence, and told the man he was free to go. No arrest, no jail, just a ticket and a stern warning to get help. Minutes later, surveillance footage captured Morales entering the gas station restroom alone. Another deputy arrived on an unrelated call and noticed the locked door. When it was finally opened, Morales was slumped lifelessly in the corner, unconscious, not breathing, turning blue.
Yes, where my car's at. First Norcan apply, he's coming too.
Panic erupted. Officers dragged him into the open air. His duty vest was ripped off, his legs straightened to open the airway. 4 separate doses of Narcan were administered, one after another, until finally, his chest heaved. His pulse returned. He gasped.
Okay. There you go. There you go. There we go, Marv.
Keep breathing, bud.
Keep breathing, Marv. Come on, Marv. You're good, man. Come on, dude. You're gonna be okay. You're good.
But the evidence told a far darker story. The seized foil packet was missing. The glass pipe was later found shattered inside Morales' patrol vehicle. Investigators pieced together the timeline. Morales had allegedly smoked fentanyl residue from the pipe while on duty, in full uniform, inside the public restroom.
Well, because I haven't seen anything. He said what was relayed to me is the last he saw was it went into a glove and into the trunk.
Right before.
Your glove in the trunk?
Yeah. The guy told him it was meth, according to the updates.
An internal affairs investigation revealed he had even taken the pipe home previously and admitted to using residue. The department recommended termination for gross misconduct, policy violation, and dishonesty. Morales resigned in early February 2024, and his resignation was promptly accepted. The incident became one of Sacramento's most sobering and publicly discussed internal failures, a haunting warning that the deadliest threat a deputy faces may not come from the streets, but from within. On April 22, 2023, Robbinsville Township Police Officer Connor Bowl was assisting a stranded motorist on a busy roadway. The driver's car had broken down, and Officer Bowl was helping push the disabled vehicle into a nearby parking lot to clear traffic.
See this one-way sign right there? There's a parking lot right there. We're going to push you right into there, okay?
Turn here?
Yep, it turns in here.
Everything appeared routine until tragedy struck in an instant. As the officer and the driver pushed the car forward, a 2020 Volkswagen Passat traveling at high speed failed to move over and struck Officer Bowl. The impact threw him onto the hood of the car before he fell to the ground. The driver of the vehicle never stopped and fled the scene, leaving the injured officer behind as his patrol car lights continued flashing across the roadway.
Turns in here.
Emergency units arrived within minutes. Officer Bowl was found with a broken leg, multiple facial cuts, and a concussion. He was transported to a nearby hospital. Investigators quickly identified the suspect as 52-year-old Rachel Glatt. She was arrested and charged with leaving the scene of an accident, careless driving, and failing to change lanes for an emergency vehicle. If you believe their stories deserve to be heard, hit like and share so more people remember the heroes who gave everything.